As I build my coaching business, I want to know how to effectively serve clients and make more money doing it. This podcast will pull back the curtain to reveal exactly how successful coaches are building their empires. Join me as I engage with top coaches from all over the world to discover their secrets. No theatrics and no theory, just real life strategy. My name is William Winterton, and this is Coaching Success Radio. Hey, what's going on? Coaching Success Radio. Today's interview is with Natasha Bagnell. She is a lovely lady, was a former model, and is now working to help women overcome their own challenges, their own obstacles in the weight and health and fitness area. And what she does is super spectacular because she's part of a program, she's part of a group where she mentors other coaches to develop their own coaching business and to start growing their own company. She's developed some crazy cool creative ideas to help set her apart from her marketplace so that she's not just another name out there in the wellness and fitness world. So she's using some of her Instagram power, some of her star power in the modeling world, but has kind of repurposed and reshaped that. And it's interesting. She makes a comment in here that she was really getting into modeling to try and make her impact on the world, and it was really a much different, more challenging struggle than she thought. So when she got out of that business and got into the world of coaching, she's finding she has a lot more impact and a lot more control over the lives that she's able to influence. So very interesting story. Great young lady. Super excited about this interview. You're going to love it. This is Natasha. Hey, welcome to the program, Coaching Success Radio here. And today I have Natasha Bagnell. Now, she is a health and fitness coach. She is a girl boss mentor. She is a pile of fire and energy. She is amazing. She is just electric to talk to and has so much passion for the people that she serves. And she has a really unique system in place for how she has built and developed her coaching program. I am delighted to have her join today. Natasha, how are you?
Hey, William, I'm great. How are you doing?
I am fantastic. I just get so excited. I look at you, you're smiling, there's like so much energy, and I know it's about to come out for the audience. So I'm so excited to bring you on. Tell me a little bit about just give me like your 2-minute backstory of kind of what got you into your coaching in the first place.
I call it, I was a hot mess express. Everything that like I just needed to, there were so many things that I just needed to like kind of like grow in my life and that I was running from for so long. So once I realized that and I stopped running from it and I kind of embraced it and stepped into that, I found coaching. So I hired a coach myself. I really liked what they did. I studied psychology in university. So I always knew I wanted to do something with that, but not the typical therapist route, because to me that was just kind of mundane. So once I found out what coaching was and I realized like just how quickly it came to me and how innate it was, I absolutely loved it. So and after going through self-awareness and seeing how much I grew, I just really thought that so many people in the world, I think a lot of their issues or problems or the things that they think are problems can be helped if they're just more self-aware. And it's just all about how you approach the situation more than the situation itself. So that's kind of how I got into coaching.
Like your background, you said psychology, correct?
Yes.
So psychology background, and now you've launched into becoming a health and fitness kind of a monster. So talk to me about the health and fitness side of your life and where that stems from.
Yeah, so within all of the hot mess express, as I call myself that I was, my health struggled a lot. So my backstory with that is I used to model, and within that industry, there's certain demands of you, and that can grow sometimes into negative. So I had a very negative relationship with food. And then living abroad, I was eating things that I think ended up kind of wreaking havoc on my body. I had huge issues like with my digestion, and like as I tried absolutely everything under the sun to try and lose weight and inches, and like it just wasn't happening. So I couldn't figure out why and what was going on. And then I realized like I was stressed and my health was suffering, and I ended up with appendicitis. So I was in the hospital for 10 days with a ruptured appendix. And that was just a huge wake-up call to me. And I was like, I have to do something proactive, because like what I'm doing right now is not working. And all the fad diets out there and all the pills, none of them are going to do anything for me. They're not, and it wasn't even at that point about losing weight anymore. It was just about becoming healthy. So that's when I kind of turned to actually this platform that I use now. And it really helped turn my health around through the shakes that they offer, because I went vegan. I looked up the blood type diet. I cut out all meat in an instant and dairy, and my health just kind of flourished. Then the exercise component, that was a little bit took a little bit longer to come around because my mindset was never fully in it, because for modeling, it was always like seen as torture. And it was something I had to do and I was doing for someone else. I didn't see the value of like the self-love in it and how it is like to care for yourself. So it took me a lot longer to get my mindset there with that. But again, just the community that I found within that had really helped me. And so I just realized, like, through all of that, if you don't have your health, you have absolutely nothing else in life, right? And like, for me, I think mental health goes with that hand in hand. But so that's why I kind of got into it and created more of like a health club. So it's definitely fitness and health focused, but I put a lot of mentality and life coaching in there with that as well. And I just think that, if you don't have that, like, you have nothing. Like, you can't be with the ones you love. You can't live a vivacious life. You don't have the energy. And it shows itself on your face. Like, I had like a gray skin tone. My hair was like really dry and brittle. I had no energy. I was like angry all the time because I was so stressed out, and like so opposite what I naturally am. And I could feel that I was like, honestly, there's something had to be done. And so it took me a little bit to kind of figure it all out and find the right people and the right tribe or the right community. But once I found it, my light just kind of like ignited.
So we're talking a little bit, you're talking about the clients that you help with, You've also talked about yourself being a model. I know that your ideal clients are not necessarily all models.
Oh God,
but I think they're right. And that's what's awesome, is that you come from that world, so you understand it, but there's also, you're able to kind of break that, I guess, that cliche. We all know that the industry, the acting industry, the music industry, it's never as glamorous as it really is put out to be. But because you've seen that side of it, and then to work with people who are just, I would just say, like me, just everyday average people, right? Who just kind of go through it. You're able to kind of work at a different level, right? You're kind of able to work with these women, especially, and bring out their esteem in a completely different way, I would imagine, than somebody who's never seen that industry or never been on that side of the coin.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. For me, one of the reasons why I always wanted to model was to kind of help people with body positivity. And as I went through the years of modeling, I realized, like, I thought that that's what would give me a voice and a platform, but it didn't give me that edge at all. And now we have social media, which is so broad, and you can really speak to anybody, that I was like, I didn't really need that part in my life anymore in order to do that. So the reason why I wanted to do that was because I was victim of it even in the industry, and I knew all the work that went into every single photo and how much like half the photos didn't even look like myself at the end of it. But that's what we see. Like, that's what we see in everyday life. We only see the end product. We don't see what goes through it. We don't see who those people actually are. And I think that's one of the biggest things that's like detrimental, because when I was living in the US, I met so many girls from Europe where, yes, they have the advertisements, but it's not kind of like shoved in your face quite as much as it is in North America. And some of them had developed like eating disorders because of it, or body image issues because of living in North America, where all of that was like in your face. And that was basically what's thrown at people. And it's like, that's your value, is how you look. And so for me, I just kind of wanted to expose all of that and like let people know that what you see is not real. And as much as like we know that on an intellectual level, if I can like remind people of that every single day, and if it's like even just through sharing like a piece of my story from it and like my experience, because I did get to experience it firsthand, I feel like that can possibly help people a little bit more for having been through it.
So as you're talking about the modeling and you're talking about these women in this field and kind of breaking that, like, again, we know in our mind that it's not real what we're seeing, but we still compare ourselves, whether we want to or not. We compare ourselves to other people, to what we see in the magazines and TV and movies and all that sort of, and on social media for sure. So how it's now in your coaching, who are the ideal clients that you're reaching out to? Are these women who are struggling with this emotional eating, or are they struggling with, like, what specifically are they working on?
So for me, I take on people who basically just want to level up in life. So my program is called Unleash Your Inner Badass. And to me, a badass means somebody who wants more for themselves, who wants to step into the best version of themselves, and who wants to live life like full out, and who will do anything to reach their goals or their dreams. And I feel like there's so many of us that want that lifestyle, and that's why we like love social media, because we see people living all of that, but we always think that we're not capable of getting there. And for me, I'm like, you are totally capable of getting there. The only person standing in your way is yourself. And whether that's your lifestyle that needs to switch or your mindset that needs to switch, literally you're the only person stopping yourself. Like, we have so much at our disposal nowadays, that there's literally nothing else that's stopping you. It's not that the markets are too saturated. It's not that you don't look like this or that. Like, it's none of those things. It's all what you're perceiving yourself to be. So my ideal client is literally somebody who just like wants more from themselves and for themselves. So yeah, and I think a lot of people, especially when it starts with health and fitness as the forefront of it, I think that there are a lot of people that generally a lot of times have something that they're insecure about, and I want to help like change that, whether it's that they're insecure that they can't do a push-up, or they're insecure about the fact that they think that they need to lose 50 pounds, whatever that may be. Because I was on both ends of it. I was like, I need to lose weight, but then I'm like, I can't even, like, I wasn't even strong enough at one point to be able to push open like a heavy door at like a mall or something. And when I was living somewhere, I just had no strength, because again, in modeling, it was all about skinny, nothing else. Whereas now I'm like, no, I want to be strong, because I want to be able to, like, basically, it's like so extreme, but I'm like, if I ever get attacked, like, I want to be able to defend myself, like, you know, and like, so it's just complete opposite now. And I think there's just something really empowering about all of that, about like just wanting to be a stronger person in every aspect. And so that's really like what I want to help people achieve to do. And like, I will stop at nothing. Like, it's my absolute passion. Like, I absolutely love it.
Because you're going through your story, and I'm listening to this, and I'm understanding very clearly that it is an extreme lifestyle, right? And so I know that plays into what you coach women through, and others like to go into in your programs. Talk a little bit about how you find these clients, these people that you're reaching out to. I know you have some presence on social media. I know you're on the YouTube. You said you're just starting a YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'm just going to be putting out a YouTube channel finally, of something I wanted to do for so long. Like, yeah, I just need to start with my content, because now that I have like my branding down and I have my message down, and how to articulate it, that took me a long time, by the way. But yeah, I want to definitely start YouTube, because I think there's something so powerful about video, or even podcasts. Like, you know, people can, like this one, like people can listen to all the time, and that's what people are turning to more. So, but Instagram is my biggest platform right now, like that I actually actively post on, not in following wise. I don't get caught up in the numbers game so much, but that I have the most engagement with and that I make the most impact on is definitely Instagram.
You are also a super creative. And so I want to just talk a little bit about some of the things that you've tried out. Like you've mentioned to me, you have a cookbook that you're launching here shortly. I think at the end of the year. I think it's going to come out somewhere around that time.
Yeah, I'm not saying like that we have so much at our disposal. It is going to be self-published. I'm super excited about it, because I went from a place of like hating food or not having a good relationship with it to absolutely loving it. It's called The Busy Bitch, and it's quick recipes that can be made in 15 minutes to 20 minutes, and they're all plant-based, because I am a plant-based eater. But it's just kind of to show people that plant-based doesn't have to be, you don't have to have your hydrators and your processors and everything. Like, I think one recipe has a food processor in it, and like, so it's really simple. It's just how you can get your health in, nutrients in. There will be about 40 different recipes, but it's very different than like any other cookbook out there, because I want to help people kind of understand how to pair ingredients together, so they can kind of be creative with it and how much they add. But yeah, and a lot of it's like similar to how I kind of got my health back. So it's not like your full recipe where you could pair things together to make a whole meal, but like there's going to be a section on smoothies. There's a section on bowls. So there's like oatmeal bowls, because that's the biggest thing. Oatmeal was like the biggest thing to help with my gut health. There's savory bowls. There's smoothie bowls, and there's like plates. What else? I think I'm missing one. And then there's a whole section on salads, because so many people think that salads are just so boring, and I was like, there's so much you can do with them. Like, I love salad. But so there's a whole section on that too. So, and then there's like a not so basic avocado toast add-on, and there's a water challenge add-on to make sure people are drinking enough water and it's actually tasting better than just water. Yeah, so there's a bunch of stuff in it, and I'm really excited about it, because it's like, I don't have a lot of time for that type of stuff in my life, but I love to cook. So it's kind of just how you can fit in like healthy meals quickly and eat well. Yeah.
So it's way more than just, here's how to eat healthy. This is how to actually enjoy the healthy food, and actually how to do it creatively and make it something you actually want to do, and not like what you have to do.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And I think with it being like pretty quick, like people are going to enjoy that a lot more, because you know, at the same time, like if something's going to take you forever to do and you'd rather be like playing with your kids or taking your dog for a walk or whatever that may be that you'd rather be doing, working on your business, then it's not going to be as enjoyable anymore. And it seems like a little bit more of a chore. So yeah, you can just kind of have fun with it. And the feedback's been really good on the recipe so far, I must say.
So how is this lining up with, so that you're in your coaching then, is this something you're going to be giving alongside a program? Is this something that like is going to be like, how is this building into your value ladder, your offer?
The not so basic avocado toast and the water challenge will be open to the public, and then the actual cookbook itself is going to be launched in my health club and to anyone who signs up with me as a coach. So if so yeah, my coaches that I mentor, like you mentioned, I'm a Grow Boss mentor, so I mentor coaches to do the same thing that I'm doing. And then also I have the health club where I have clients, so it's going to be available to both people. Maybe one day I will self-publish it on Amazon, but for now that's how it's going to kind of roll out. So it's just a freebie, add value.
Yeah, I love it. And it's super creative. It's super, it fits right in with your niche and people you're serving. So it's incredibly powerful that way. You're not just making something that, you know, oh, I guess maybe they'll try this. It's something that people are actually going to want, and it's going to have, there's a demand for it. I would like to ask though, in getting going in your business, you've been doing this for a while. You kind of built yourself up a brand a little bit. What has probably been like one of the biggest challenges that you have faced as a coach, or one of the ones you're still kind of working and trying to overcome right now in growing your business to the next level?
For me, one of the biggest things that kind of was a roadblock for me was, so I was trying to just do life coaching before this. And I had a few like limiting, I guess still limiting beliefs with it. Like I just felt like, I was like, oh, maybe people won't take me as seriously. Like my goal was to make personal development fun with no matter what it is that I was doing. I wanted people to grow, but I wanted it to be fun. And I felt like just offering life coaching alone, I wasn't able to get that excitement and that funness that I was looking for in my brand. So like, not saying that you can't, like you definitely can, just I felt like I wasn't able to do that.
Sure.
But when I found the fitness and health component of it, I was like, I felt like I could just be a lot more myself. And that, I think what it comes down to is that I just felt more comfortable with that realm, and giving my life coaching program that I utilized. I was very fortunate to have my mentor allow me to use their program. So I sprinkle parts of that within it. So I can still do both that I really love. But for me, that was one of my biggest setbacks in the beginning. And then it was branding, because I like fought against everything that I actually like liked, because I felt like I had to be like, I was like, oh, I had to be like so put together and so this. But I was like, no, if I want to wear like the full one piece pink outfit, like I can. If I want to have like high hair, I can. If I want to like talk the way that I normally talk, even though I give lots of value, like I can do that, you know? And like that was one of my first biggest setbacks, was in the whole branding of it, and just kind of stepping into what I actually liked and being comfortable and thinking like that people were going to take that seriously. The second thing is with growing is patience. And it's still something of mine that's really difficult, is the patience part of it, which I know is probably something that most people wouldn't expect to hear. But when growing your business, whether it's you're trying to like innovate, you're trying to be creative, you're trying to get something perfect, which again, you should never try and get something perfect, because it's never going to be perfect. Let's just burst that bubble right now. But growing clients, whatever it is, patience is the one thing that I think so many of us lack. And I think that can actually kind of like deter where your business is going to go, because a lot of people will then give up. But it's kind of just persevering through that. So for me, that's the one thing right now is patience with all the systems that I'm building, and B, I think with all the systems I'm building, that's going to open up my clientele and like the people, like the coaches coming to me a lot more. So for me, I kind of I would rather people kind of come to me. I do invite people, but I kind of post more like, if you're interested in this, let me know, kind of a thing. And I talk about it like every day, but because it's such a big part of my life, right? But yeah, I think for me right now, it's patience still, and the whole growth of it, and in gaining more clients. And the reason why I want to gain more clients is like, honestly, I'm just so obsessed with helping people. And like, I know the way that it feels on the other side. And I'm just like, I just want people to feel that too. Because I just feel like, I don't know, I just feel like the world would be a lot happier and more compassionate if people were like accepting of themselves, and they weren't frustrated with themselves and stressed and didn't fight against who they were. Then I feel like we would be a lot more of a pleasant planet.
Isn't that kind of interesting? Because that's exactly what you were struggling with before, was your own authenticity, right? And what if people find out that I have an eating disorder? What if people find out that I'm not perfect? What if people find out that, sometimes, I like to wear my hair like this or do this or act act kind of crazy, act kind of weird. And it is so freeing. I had to just stay on my side of it. When I was really heavy into the real estate world, it was the same thing. I wore to everything I did. I wore like a suit and tie, which actually I love to do. I'm that guy though. I'm like the kid. Like I wasn't the kid who wore a suit and tie to school. I already had enough trouble getting I was not a cool kid anyway. But I love that stuff. I love getting dressed up. But then at the same time, I felt like I had to do it, right? Like if I'm going to be a financial guy or like that, I had to get in this mindset and I had to do this. And I felt very inauthentic. And it felt like, okay, but this is what everybody else does. And so whenever I jumped into the coaching realm, it's kind of the same thing. I didn't feel like like podcasting, it doesn't matter what you really wear, because like I said, most people are going to listen to this. But in my videos and my presentation, I felt like I had to have a script. I had to have it all set up. I had to have these points. Had to be, the lighting had to be good. And finally, I was like, you know what? It's going to take me forever to create this fake person, or I could just friggin' do it and then have people just be like, and if they have a problem with it, that's fine. There's like a million other people you could follow or whatever. But the minute you realize, like you said, the minute you're like, you know what, I'm going to do what I want to do. And then if people love it and they love me, and that's great. And and you find people that you actually want to hang out with, rather than serving a bunch of people who look at you as somebody else.
Exactly. No, exactly. And I think freedom, it's funny that you say that. That's actually one of the taglines that I use, is just being free. And that means from the issues that you have against your body, the issues that you have with eating, the issues that you have with the job that you hate, or with pushing against who you are. That is ultimate freedom. Freedom doesn't come from success and money necessarily. It can, but then again, that can be taken away from you, right? So if you can find freedom within yourself, I think that's absolutely amazing.
Awesome. You know what, Natasha, it's been great to have you on. I'm actually very excited to see the cookbook come out. I'm very excited to see you launching your YouTube channel and all the things you're just kind of blowing up here, and maybe bring you back on in a few months and kind of see where things are going.
Yeah, I would absolutely love that. I had so much fun being on your podcast. Thank you for having me. And I'm just excited for all the things that are going to be coming out. I just actually finished filming 25 videos for an initiation week for the people in my health club, which is actually it's the whole first part of the life coaching program that I did in there. And it's all just added free value. So I get to post that up next week. So I'm super excited for people for that, because I'm it'll light the world on fire.
That is so awesome. That's such a cool feeling. I love having a major thing that you're going, it's finally launching. And you're I just want to tell the world about it. It's just this kind of a release, right?
Of course. Yeah. And I think, and again, sorry, I know we're about to finish, but if anyone listening is doing a coaching business, that's the biggest thing, is be innovative in a way where you launch something that's a little bit different, but it gets you so excited. Because if it gets you that amped up, it's going to radiate off you when you go and tell people about it, and they're going to get excited about it too. So that's the biggest thing, is make something you can get freaking excited about.
Hey, there's nothing worse than going through all this time and work, learning about how to coach, learning about how to market yourself, get your message out there, organically connect with other coaches, pay for advertising, do all the things we need to do to market our business. And then you finally get on that sales call and you freeze up, you choke up. You're so concerned about how much you're charging, and you're just freaking out about telling them how much it's going to cost. It's not worth it. Listen, there's a simpler way, and I want to show you a very simple strategy to help ramp up your sales calls, your strategy sessions, your onboarding sessions, whatever you call it. I want you to go right now to strategysessionmastery.xyz. You're going to sign up. There's a free 3-day mastermind that's being held in October, and it's going to help you get past any of the barriers that are stopping you from onboarding high-ticket clients, because let's face it, if you do all this other work and you don't actually get the clients, it's not worth it. So go to strategysessionmastery.xyz right now and sign up for the 3-day masterclass.